everyone at Wilton Bible Church. This is Michelle, a missionary in Kenya. I've been here in Nairobi for about 9 months and I'm starting to get used to things. I've been so blessed to get settled in quickly in my own apartment, and it's close to the pastor's family, not far from the church. I'm getting so many opportunities to serve in this local church. It's Bethel Baptist Church, and the pastor is Josiah Wambua, Kenyan. Typical week for me includes half a dozen or more trips back and forth between home and the church. In July, I started using my music training, and I've been able to start teaching piano lessons as well as teaching in the college music program that's being developed. Twice a week, we teach Bible in a local primary school, and we also host a kids program every Saturday morning for the children in the neighborhood near the church. While I really enjoy teaching the children, I've also enjoyed being able to help train the next generation of teachers. A couple months ago, I was asked to lead a teacher training seminar for several sister churches, and I'm going to be doing a one-day workshop again in October. Life here in Nairobi, city life. There's a lot of traffic, but thankfully the pollution isn't too bad and the temperatures are great. Some of the veteran missionaries and the locals alike have advised me not to use the public transportation unless someone is available to travel with me. So I've only been on the local matatus or buses a few times. Most of the time, I just travel by Uber. Not really crazy about learning how to drive here because the rules of the road a lot different from what I'm used to. So it just seems wiser to let a local driver take me from place to place. I'm not planning on buying a car anytime soon. I can find most of the foods that I'm used to in the grocery store here. I typically prepare my meals at home and don't eat out that much, but on Sunday, we usually have a meal together at the church. So I have been introduced to most of the Kenyan staple foods. Ugali, which is made from corn, sort of like, what's that you eat down in the South? Grits, but different. And there's also chapati, which is like a type of flatbread. I really love that. And githarai is another local favorite. It's kind of a mix of corn and beans. I haven't really learned how to make the ugali or chapati yet, although I have tried to help a few times in the kitchen. I think I usually get in the way more than I actually help, but I'm trying. Here in Kenya, the schools are year-round. So we actually have Vacation Bible School 3 times a year. Once during each of the holidays, in April, in August, and then again in November. So we've had 2 already, and the next one's coming up. In the first 2, we had over 200 children, and that to me was amazing because on a typical Sunday morning, we may have 40 to 50 kids in our church. The Lord has really opened the door for us to get the gospel into the hearts of these children and into the homes of their families. Recently, some of those young people who have been saved through the children's ministry and are now in their, like, what do you call them, tween years? Like, they're not quite teenagers yet, but getting close. Well, they've been saved, baptized, and because we wanted to have their parents' permission in order to baptize them, all of their parents have now heard the gospel as well, have come and visited the church. Even one mom and daughter were baptized together on the same day. That was just a few weeks ago. So now we have started discipleship classes on Sunday afternoon. Today we had around 30 adults and about 30 children and young people as well. And before we started the discipleship class, we go out for outreach. That's a time when we take gospel tracts and we just go and talk to people in the neighborhood around the church. And there's a football field or soccer not far from the church, so it just seems like there's always a lot of people around on a Sunday afternoon, and almost every week somebody is ready to hear the gospel and we are able to share that with people. So that's been really exciting. I'm leading one of the groups, my group has some single moms or other young ladies in the church, and it's been just really exciting to share God's truth with them and help them to grow and ground them in their faith. Before I share some specific requests for the next few months, I just want to take this time to say thank you so much for partnering together with me. I couldn't be here without your help, without your prayers, and without your partnership. So it's been great. 9 months has flown by, and I'm really looking forward to finishing off the year here. So my closing request, first, if you read my most recent prayer letter, I mentioned about the youth camp that Bethel hosts every year in December. Now, the teens in Kenya typically go to high school in a boarding school, which means that for most of the year we don't really have any teens in the church because they're away at school. So in December, Bethel is going to host a youth camp for the teens in our church and also some of our sister churches outside of Nairobi. Now, because of COVID, we actually haven't done this camp for a few years, and this year we're looking forward to bringing together maybe 50, 60 teens. Each one has to be recommended by their local pastor to be able to attend the camp, and we'll encourage them in living a victorious Christian life, giving them some tools and encouragement as they head back into their next school year. So along with that prayer request, we'd also like to say, if you want to partner with us in sponsoring one of the teens for the camp, you could sponsor one teen for $20, and that would offset the cost of the transportation to bring them in, their meals, and the materials that we'll have for them during the camp. My second request is, of course, regarding the discipleship. There are so many new believers right now that have been baptized, joined the church in the past few months. So please, first, pray for their protection from the enemy. We know he likes to go after young believers and get them confused or distracted. Pray also for their faithfulness in their own personal Bible study, prayer time, and attendance in the church. And then for the training sessions, so both for those of us who are leading those discipleship groups and for the disciples as they are learning how to be a witness to their family, to their friends. Along with that, please do pray for me in teaching opportunities that I have, not only our regular ministry opportunities as we go into the schools and teach the gospel, teaching in the Bible college as well, but also for those opportunities to train the next generation of teachers. So especially as I do the seminars and the workshops, so I have several of those coming up, trying to learn how to apply the truths and the techniques, strategies that I've learned over the years of teaching and kind of apply that to the local culture. So I'm still learning how to do that, and I'm going to appreciate your prayers. Finally, I am still actively working on language learning. Ninajifundisha Kiswahili kila wiki ninazoeza na watu wengi. So I said that I'm teaching myself Swahili, and every week I'm trying to practice with many different people. So I put a lot of time into that. English is used all over Nairobi, but Kiswahili is also widely spoken, and I feel like being able to communicate the gospel in the people's heart language will be a valuable tool. I'll close with a verse from John 3:16 that I've been working on learning in Swahili. Yohana mlango 3 mstari 26. Kwa maana jinsi hii Mungu aliupenda ulimwengu hata akamtoa mwanawe pekee, ili kila mtu amwaminie asipotee, bali awe na uzima wa milele. Thank you so much. Bye.